We've got two different CRKT knives we're going to be checking out in this video today, guys. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we got these two knives from CRKT. One is in a smaller box. This one here is in a bigger one. So we're going to go ahead and unbox them in that order. I'll have links down below so you guys can check them out. Prices, availability, and variants. But without further ado, let's get in here and see what this one here is all about. Bada bing, bada boom. We got some paperwork, and otherwise we have the box there. So very straightforward unboxing experience, if you would. Well, I believe the name on this one is called the Orochi, and this one here has these sort of bluish, purplish, somewhere borderline between blue and purple, sort of G10 scales with, I want to say a bolster here. Is that steel? Is that... All right, that's going to be a steel bolster, right? Kind of has a titanium look to it, but just to solve the mystery, right? That is steel. We have prow liners with a matching, right? That bluish, purplish G10 backspacer and a deep pocket carry clip, right? Not reversible on the other side. We do have speed holes, right? 3 different speed holes on both ends, right? They're matching, going from bigger to smaller, and thumb studs for deployment, and I want to say a very minimal back flipper here, if that's what it is, right? Check out the size of that back flipper. It has no jimping on it. Right, we'll go ahead and test it. The thumb studs are also pretty interesting too, right? Check these out. Haven't seen thumb studs like that before, if you ask me, but let's go ahead and get it deployed here. The Orochi. Here we go. Bam. All right. Check out the blade there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a second, right? Give it a wipe here. It doesn't come with as many oils as some other companies do, so I don't mind that. The steel here is going to be 14C 28N steel, and there is a Damascus version. There's 2 variants, right? There's a Damascus variant and this one here with the satin finish. It is a flat grind with a switch here, kind of like a drop point, sort of almost clip point, right? Kind of trails up a bit here towards the tip. So a little bit of Persian perhaps, but not too crazy, or you guys be the judge. It does have this sort of recurve, kind of feels like a little bit of recurve, a little bit of hint of recurve there in this area here. And then obviously this whole portion here. So it's like 2 different sharp edges there that connect. It's a very interesting design choice right there. All right, get a closer look. I mean, it looks gorgeous. I absolutely like how it looks. Love the geometry, something a little bit different for a change. And it is going to be a liner lock. Let's check out the engagement here on the liner. We have about maybe 30-35% engagement. Right? It has jimping on the liner. And not a lot of access from the show side, but we can push down and disengage. All right, that's very easy. Very simple to do. It doesn't pinch the thumb or anything. So that's a good sign. Checking out the close. So that is a very nice little, all right, check that out. Not even shaking it, and it's closing almost entirely on its own. We can reverse flick. The answer is yes. Oh yeah, we can do that for sure. Thumb deployment is good. Reverse flick is good. The $1 million question is that a back flipper or not? And the answer is yes. The answer is absolutely yes. It does work as a back flipper. Let's test it out one more time. It works. You can light switch it. All right. Can you push button it? Nah, that's going to make you fail the deployment there. So more of like a, yeah, light switching approach works. And again, very minimal, right? They almost could have done the whole knife. Here's where I'm not complaining, because they could have done this whole design without the back flipper at all, and it would have worked just fine, right? You got thumb stud, you can reverse flick, right? Have at least 2 deployment options. And you know, I've seen so many knives without a back flipper that only have thumb studs, but they went the extra mile. Say, hey, why not? We don't necessarily want a very pokey, out there long, lengthy back flipper, but something minimal like that. If you wanted to use it as a back flipper, you absolutely can. Now, it's not going to be the most satisfying or comfortable back flipper in the history of back flippers, but the answer is yes, it works. And if it had a little bit more jimping, and if it came out just a tad bit more, that would probably make a huge difference. But for what it is, I think some knives out there are going for the whole aesthetics preference of being minimal on like a back flipper, so it doesn't stick out too much. But long story short, the answer is yes, it absolutely does work. And even look at the detail here in the liner. So they kind of cut out a little bit of a section on both ends, just so you have a little bit more leverage with your index finger to be able to deploy the blade that way. So nice to have, right? Some additional deployment. Obviously the thumb studs, are going to feel a little bit easier, more natural on the deployment. I'm going to set the knife down for a second before somebody else at me in the comments. Miguel, you flip the knife around too much, man. Let me take some pictures. Let me get a closer look. You know, you're like moving the knife around all the time and, you know, you flick it around too much. So I got you, fam. All right, let me just go ahead and let you take it in, right, for what it is. I will say this. I do like the handle design. Pretty good. Ergos here, pretty solid. I do feel the pocket clip a tad bit. I'm going to go 9 out of 10. 9, yeah, 9 out of 10 feels good. Able to get a full 4-finger grip. And guess what? You can forward choke a tad bit, but you do want to be aware of this corner right there because it's a little pokey corner right there. So just be mindful when you forward choke. It does feel good to be able to get more control of the blade, right? When cutting, if you want to forward choke a tad bit, just again, be mindful when you do it. We said the steel again is 14C28N. It doesn't have it printed here on the blade like many companies do. So that's just something to keep in mind there with CRKT. Reverse grip feels good. Friday night gas station fighting grip feels good. The Pakal grip, maybe not so much. But yeah, but as far as the action goes, I might checking out the closing, right? At least 2 different deployment options. That feels very nice. Loving the grippy G10 scales. They're nice in contour. And I mean, overall, if you like the design and the geometry, right, this one absolutely is a looker. It's hard to debate that. But this is only one of 2 knives. This one comes in a more premium box. So I'm wondering if it's perhaps a fancier knife. So it's going to go ahead and have this one do the honors here. Bada bing, bada boom. And by the way, that is one pokey tip, right? Like that favorite YouTuber of yours here on the platform says. Very iconic phrase to say the least. So right off the bat, we have a slightly different unboxing experience. All right, it's got the magnets here on the opening. And, oh yeah, definitely a more premium unboxing. CRKT sticker with the CRKT handout. Oh, this is going to be something, guys. The Zephyr. All right, let's take a look at what the Zephyr is all about. We got an actual zipper pouch on this one. Here it is. Here's the knife. Let's go ahead and make some room, shall we? Again, right, the whole unboxing tells you are going to be checking out something a little bit different than what we just looked at. And for starters, I mean, check out the Damascus here on the inlays. It's got this anodized blue. All right, let's just check here. All right, we are getting pull from the pivot, but we do have liners. There we go. Back here, I'm not getting any pull. So we have indeed titanium handles with the Damascus inlays. And that might be a little foreshadowing here to what the blade is all about. We'll check that out in a second. We have a deep pocket carry clip here, as you can see. And in case you're wondering, it is not reversible on the other side. It is going to be a liner lock, so we'll check that out in just a second. And overall, I mean, it's got this rectangular with very sharp lines sort of design. Right, it looks pretty neat. Let's just go ahead and get it deployed here, shall we? Back flipper seems to be the only deployment option for this one. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Bam, right? Check out the blade. Okay, let's take a look. Now we have multiple different steels available for this one. This is going to be the Damascus design in steel. We have, by the way, this is a Lurch design. I'm not very familiar with his designs, so I'm excited to check out his work here. A little bit of billboarding there. CRKT on the show side, Lurch design, and model number. So it looks like they prioritize model numbers on their blades instead of actually putting steel. But in case you're wondering, they do offer this same model, the Sephur, in a more budget option. They have D2 with black G10, and they have 14C28N steel with topographic G10. So those options are also pretty sweet. Again, I'll have them all linked down below so you guys can check them out if you're interested. Very sort of sheep's foot, reverse tanto sort of blade here. It does have a flat grind going on. I'm really digging the Damascus there. It's a nice, beautiful pattern, I'll tell you that. And it's a little bit shiny here. Let me just go ahead and wipe it and see if maybe it's the oils or... Actually, that's just how it looks, right? So it's got a bit of a polish to it. I dig that. Now, it does match the inlays as well. So that's a nice combo there. If I zoom out just a tad bit, nothing too crazy, right? Take a look. I'm going to set it down as well so you guys can breathe it all in. There it is. I'm just going to move it around a bit as the light hits it. It looks pretty nice. Same thing on the other side. You'll notice the speed rectangles. I'm just going to call them, instead of speed holes, I'm going to call it speed rectangles on the blade. I feel like, you know, it being such a rectangular knife, it actually kind of fits, right? It's pretty fitting for the design, if you ask me. And the other thing I do like, before we check out the liner lock here, is the fact that when you fold it, almost 99 well, maybe 98.5 or so. Very accurate mathematical number, by the way. I came up with a very secret formula. Almost 98.5% of the blade is tucked into the handle. So I do like that. It makes it seem like a nice little knife, right, on the DL, right, with a hidden blade. Well, you gotta be a knife enthusiast to know what it is right off the bat. Otherwise, it doesn't necessarily throw, hey, I'm a knife sort of message to the world for non-knife people out there. And obviously, it should sit pretty flush in the pocket with that deep pocket carry clip. So that's also nice. So very elegant from that standpoint. So we have the back flipper with some nice jimping on it. I do like that. And let's just go ahead and test it here. We can light switch it, and we can also, okay, I tried push buttoning it, but the answer is yes. If you push button it, but don't really try, you can fail it. So better off light switching it every single time, just to be safe. And in case you're wondering here, the engagement is going to be around maybe 30%. Yeah, also 35% or so on the engagement. No cutout on the show side, but they made it so the liner actually sticks out a significant amount. You can even see it from the opposite side here. So that's how they got around to not making a cutout on the show side. So as far as this engagement goes, it does have some milling on it, and we can push down into the left and disengage that way. So very nice and easy to do. As far as the close, it's going to be a little bit more of a shake shutter. All right, we do have an internal stop pin, do we? Yes, we do have an internal stop pin indeed. Right, notice there is no stop pin here for the open position. Right, nothing holding the blade there. It's actually a cutout on the inside of the blade here, and you'll notice the actual track, right, the little pin right there. So it's also very tastefully done, I'll tell you what. Now, it has the one deployment option. I typically prefer knives with more deployment options than just the one, but when it's just a one option, right, I really like it to be well tuned, and that happens to be the case here. So no complaints there. I mean, it does look very, very nice. I want to say with this reflective finish and the Damascus on the handle, as you use the knife more and more, it'll be interesting to see how that kind of works out right over time. I know Kaiser recently did the Quoll. In case you haven't checked out the Kaiser Quoll, also has a very nice, beautiful Damascus on the handle. As far as the close, it's going to be a little bit more of a shake shutter action, right? You have to give it a little bit of a shake in order for it to close. As far as the ergos go, right, I'm able to get a full purchase, full 4-finger grip here with no issues. This tiny bit of back flipper could work as a finger guard. Maybe forward choke a tad bit. I wouldn't recommend it. It doesn't feel the most comfortable because you don't have a lot of room, and you kind of actually stab your index finger with the flipper tab itself. So forward choking, I mean, do it if you really want to be intentional about it. Obviously being mindful of what you're doing, but the hammer grip is where it's at. Again, full 4-finger grip, right? If you have bigger hands, right, that might be something. I don't see a lanyard solution here on this one. No lanyard hole, so maybe you could tie up something around the pocket clip if you want to. And as far as internal milling goes, because we have the inlays on the outside, there is no milling on the inside of the scales. It doesn't feel like a heavy knife in any way, shape, or form. It just feels like a good weight to it, without a doubt. Right? And obviously a very utilitarian type of knife. Almost utility blade style, but just narrower and longer. Right? Great for utility cuts, draw cuts, right? Things like that. But, the one thing that does stand out here is how elegant it looks. Let's just put them side by side. The pocket clip is not helping a ton, right? When I set it down, it just wants to fall back like that. So for what it's worth, there it is. Right? Here is the Orochi and the Zephyr, right? Side by side. Let's just zoom in a tad bit. These just released for 2026 along with a whole bunch of other models. I just got these two for me to review and share with you guys. I'm not sure if they're planning on sending the other models as well for me to showcase, or just these. Some companies, they send certain models. They want to see how those do in a given channel. And, if they take off, then they might send other models. But for whatever it's worth, right, I just want to share my honest opinion. You guys already know how we do here in the channel. These two models right there look pretty appealing. And you do have multiple variants, right? For the Orochi, there is a more premium version with the Damascus blade, and for the Sephur, there is a more affordable version with, again, G10 and either D2 or 14C 28N steel. So let me know your thoughts on these guys. What do you guys love about them? What do you like about them? Anything you would change, you would do differently? Feedback, anything you dislike? Let's hang out in the comment section down below. There are links to all these down below in the description and pinned comments, so you guys can check them out. Prices, availability, and variants. It does help out the channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you and at zero extra cost. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one, either this one or this one. Peace.